Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right. So if you are not subscribed to the channel over on Twitch, make sure that you go and check out Blacklight Revelations on Twitch. Got my man D-Buck over there. What's good with it, bro? Good to see you as always. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Facebook. Shout out to everybody that's watching on YouTube. All right. Make sure that you guys smash that like button. You guys already know what we gonna do. We're gonna get through some content. Once we get through the content, we will open up the panel and then we will call it a day. All right. Your boy got some content coming for you guys, and I'm gonna try to get it out there. All right. So what we're gonna be talking about today is what is going on in the Dominican Republic, all right? Because like I have always said, we are not all in it together as friends. We are not all in it together as brothers. None of that, all right? Shout out to my man, AB Promotions. Great to have you on the panel last night, bro. It was epic. Shout out to my man, PD Chicago B1. B1, what up with it, bro? So what I got to ask everybody is the culture of anti-blackness, which is ingrained and a part of United States culture. Why is it that when it comes to us, we are the only people that are asked to maintain a tolerable acceptance and understanding for other people's anti-blackness? Mind you, that the United States manufactured. Why is that? If you guys recall, when the Ukraine thing happened and they were bringing all of the Ukrainian immigrants into the United States, the U.S. State Department put out a notice and said, oh, black people, you need to just, coddle these Ukrainians that come over here with these anti-black attitudes, because they're Nazis from over there. So then we have the whole situation with Jerry Jones. Oh, well, even though everybody knows what was going on back in the 60s, we don't know what he was doing, right? Now we have it on this side. And this is something that's been going on in the Latino community ever since the Latino community was a community going back to the 1500s in Spain. We saw it with Yuri Martinez over in California with the behind the scenes political corruptness, and the guy who won't step down, Kevin De Leon, who just recently got into a fight with a black man at a city council meeting named Jason Reedy. You know what I'm saying? So now what we're talking about is the United States telling black people to give Dominicans a pass, because they quote unquote have issues. Well, let me ask you guys a question. Where did those issues come from? Who manufactured those issues? Who's responsible for those issues? And what other group of people is just expected to accept an acceptable level of racism and intolerance from every other group of people? Who else is? Is there any other group of people that would accept that? Is there any other group of people that, the world comes to and says, well, everybody hates you. So if somebody happens to just beat you up or kill one of your kids, you kind of got to sympathize with them. I mean, you are black. But that's what the United States and the rest of the world has been telling us from day one. And it's time for people to stop accepting that nonsense. What we got on the screen here is a memo from the U.S. Embassy in the Dominican Republic. Ongoing Dominican migration enforcement. Now, what are they talking about there? This is a message to advise U.S. citizens that in recent months, travelers to the Dominican Republic have reported being delayed, detained, or subject to heightened questionings at ports of entry and in other encounters with immigration officials based on their skin color. Now, I find that fascinating. You mean to tell me you can't hear the difference in somebody's voice of whether they're Haitian or American? Everybody else can. Now, these people from the Dominican Republic who have a Spanish accent and speak Spanish as their first language, you mean to tell me they don't, and they actually live right next door to these Haitian people. You mean to tell me they'd get a Haitian person mixed up with a FBA from, let's say, New York City, or let's say from Atlanta? Are you serious? What this is a memo to tell black people, just so you know, these Latino people here in the Dominican Republic, they're going to be roughing you up and being a little bit mean to you. If you go over there, you're just going to have to accept it because you're black. Now, We're all supposed to be in it together, right? We all in it together, brother, as people of color, right? Now, my question is, are the ADL so occupied with Kyrie Irving and Kanye West that this happened to slip past the radar? I mean, what's their thoughts on this? Well, they probably don't have any thoughts on this because why would they? They're just as anti-black and a hate group as anybody else. So now here it says reports of desperate treatment of U.S. citizens by Dominican authorities are a matter of ongoing concern to the U.S. Embassy. So concerned that all they did was wrote an email about it. You know, they didn't do anything about it. They didn't threaten them. They didn't say, hey, we have relations with you. You need to treat our citizens right. They didn't put any people on the ground there to say, hey, let us investigate some of these people that you detained to make sure that they're not Americans. No, they just said, hey, just so you know, you're on your own. Here's my question, ladies and gentlemen. What do you guys think about that? So now here it says, in addition, in recent days, as reported in Dominican media, Dominican migration agents have conducted widespread operations aimed at detaining those they believe to be undocumented migrants, especially persons of Haitian descent. Now, as many issues as you guys have heard about with black people and FBAs going to the Dominican Republic, I find it fascinating that these people can't tell the difference. Actually, I don't believe that they can't tell the difference. I believe that they know the difference. If anybody knows the history of how things are in New York City, Dominicans are one of the most anti-black racist groups of people who are Latino in the United States. They could possibly be more anti-black than Mexicans and Salvadorians. So this should be no surprise. And being part of a Latino and part of a Spanish culture, remember, it's ingrained into their culture. They've practically, for the most part, erased and conditioned the idea of race completely out of those people. And those people accept it willingly because the idea is to get as far away from being black as you possibly can in order to gain acceptance in the dominant society. And this is just more evidence of it. In some cases, authorities have not respected these individuals' legal status in the Dominican Republic or nationality. Now, what do they mean by that? Or their nationality? Shout out to AB Promotions. AB Promotions says, email says, don't take your black ass to the DR. Facts. These actions may lead to increased interaction with Dominican authorities, especially for darker skinned U.S. citizens and U.S. citizens of African descent. Now, what does that mean? That's my question. What does that mean? Well, that means that if you're quote unquote of darker descent, that's your ticket to a bad time in the Dominican Republic. And it's just okay. And the only thing that the United States is going to do to attempt to try to help the situation or attempt to try to curtail the situation or attempt to try to do anything about the situation, we're going to send out a memo. And if you happen to buy plane tickets and go over there, well, that's on you. There's nothing we can do about it. Nothing we can do about it. Now, I find that fascinating. You know what I'm saying? But not really. Okay. There are reports that detainees are kept in overcrowded detention centers without the ability to challenge their detention, without access to food or restroom facilities, sometimes for days at a time before being released or deported to Haiti. Now, look, here it says, please report any such incidents immediately to the embassy emergency number. And they give the emergency number. But if you don't have a bathroom, you think you got access to a phone? Like, come on, let's keep it a buck. If you don't have access to a bathroom, you for damn sure don't have any access to a phone. So who you gonna call? Where you gonna get a phone at? Can I get my one phone call? You'll be lucky if you get one meal or one bathroom break. You know what I'm saying? So now, in order to deal with this is what the U.S. Embassy advises citizens to do. Carry your passport, carry a charged cell phone, and notify the embassy immediately if you need your assistance. Yeah, so while all of those armed Dominican Republican guards have those guns aimed at you, reach in your pocket and get your cell phone and get yourself blown back to the United States. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Yeah, I have no plans on going over there anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no plans on going on over there. So there's that. All right. So now an interesting article regarding that came out from The Guardian. All right. And we're going to take a look at this article. And it says US warns its darker skinned citizens of Dominican Republic's migrant crackdown. Now, what I find interesting about that is why, when it comes to another country harming black people or literally just coming out saying that they're going to be doing things that could be harmful for black people, well, when it comes to us, what we got to do is just sit around and wait. You know, just sit there. It'll be okay. Don't worry. Everything is going to be all right. The United States never puts into place any protection for black people because the United States was created to destroy black people. PD Chicago B1 says, passport bros, here's looking at you. Yeah. Yeah. What they need to change their names to is make sure you have your passport, bros. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people go over there and have some good experiences. A lot of people go over there and get drugged and jacked. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? It must be part of the culture because Cardi B went online and said that she used to be doing that. She used to be drugging and jacking people. You know what I'm saying? She used to do the D and J, drug and jack, you know? So now here it says Haitian migrants are being deported from Caribbean country and authorities seem to be targeting people based on their appearance. Funny, man. That's what goes on here in the United States. But everybody says that doesn't happen. So, if I happen to go to the Dominican Republic with one of my dark-skinned homies, you know what I'm saying? One of my dark-skinned homies might not be able to come back with me as a result of Latino culture, as a result of white supremacist Spanish culture, as a result of United States programming. So my question is, how do people defend themselves from this? Because the thing is this may sound nuanced, right? Because don't forget, these people from the Dominican Republic are not only coming to the United States, but they're welcomed here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man JD Informant. What up with it, bro? So now here it says U.S. officials in the Dominican Republic are warning darker skinned Americans that they are at risk of being swept up in the country's crackdown on Haitian migrants. Now, you mean to tell me that they can't tell the difference between a dark skinned black person and a dark skinned Haitian? So this is going with that narrative that you look suspicious, or this is going with that narrative that, they all look alike. And it's just okay. And those are American sentiments. These are manufactured, globally propagated sentiments that the United States has come up with and prescribed to the rest of the world for containment and treatment of black people. This is US policy for countries to be able to be allies of and do business with the United States. If you pay very close attention to the United States' closest ally, they have an apartheid state going on over there where they're abusing Ethiopians in their country. So, as we all know, this is part of the United States international anti-black policy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Facebook user. I'm not sure exactly. It's either Tarek or Faith probably says I'm being blocked somehow, Rob, from connecting and commenting on YouTube, and Facebook been crashing my chats for the past few minutes. Psh, see, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. So if you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Also, make sure you guys check out my other social media and my other channels because y'all already know how YouTube does. And if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please help your boy out. Smash that like button. All right. So now here it says the Dominican Republic says it has deported 49,900 migrants, mostly Haitians, between July and October in an operation it insists is necessary for national security amid growing unrest, gang crime, and a fuel blockade inside its only neighbor on the island of Hispaniola. Now, I find that fascinating, right? Because aren't these the same excuses that the United States uses? If these are the same excuses that the United States uses, give me a 1 in the comment section. If they're not, give me a thumbs down. So now here it says the expulsions include hundreds of children sent to Haiti without their parents, according to UNCIF, reported by CNN, and we'll be checking that out. Several countries and human rights agencies have condemned the program of mass arrests. Hold on real quick, my bad. Where did I hate when it just jumps like that. Dominican migration agents have conducted widespread operations aimed at detaining those they believe to be undocumented migrants, especially persons of Haitian descent, it says. So now here's my thing. Isn't the US embassy over there supposed to be there to help facilitate this process and protect American citizens from this? Isn't that what they're supposed to be doing? So now my question is, why isn't the US involved in that process? Jay says, one thing I did notice is that the online gang that usually attack people like Tariq aren't saying anything about the Haitians being attacked by the DR. Well, I guess when you hate on people so badly, you kind of lose track of your objectives. You know what I'm saying? Those are all of those people that, talk about we're all one as brothers and, you know what I'm saying? Like diaspora love and stuff like that. And, I'm the most toxic, most radioactive content creator on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm a whole misogynist. I'm a whole xenophobe. I'm a whole black supremacist. But here I am talking about this while everybody else has more important things to do. And not to mention, despite the fact that, you know what I'm saying, I'm part of a hate group and all of this other stuff, you know what I'm saying, and I'm a xenophobe and, you know what I'm saying, all of this, I have people who are of all races and cultures in my chat. So there's that, you know what I'm saying? So I find it fascinating. Like we talked about that yesterday. We talked about that yesterday, Jay. If it wasn't for the conditions that we have currently, a lot of these people, especially a lot of these YouTube people, would be out of a job because there's nothing that they can switch to. They can either only make money off of the trauma culture or they can only make money off of chasing drama or chasing the algorithm. And sometimes when it comes to chasing the algorithm, they don't even have a talent for that. You know what I'm saying? The thumbnails look janky. You know what I'm saying? Their tech is bad. You know what I'm saying? Horrible camera. You know what I'm saying? OBS all whack and messed up. You know what I'm saying? Stream yards with the little duck still up there and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you know, you know what it is, bro. So now here it says in some cases, authorities have not respected the individual's legal status in the Dominican Republic or nationality. These actions may lead to increased interaction with Dominican authorities, especially for darker skinned U.S. citizens and U.S. citizens of African descent. It goes on to warn of reports of detainees being held without ability to challenge their detention and without access to food or restroom facilities for days at a time. So my thing is, shouldn't the DR be working with the embassies there? And if one of the detainees says, hey, I'm a citizen of this particular country, work with that embassy to try to prove that citizenship? Isn't that what should be going on? Facts, PD Chicago, not thorough content, basically. Yeah. So when they go and do the other kind of content and they're not able to pull anybody into their room or they're not able to get anybody to watch their videos, then they revert to the drama. Then they revert to the clout chasing. Then they revert to the hating. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time for no hating or no clout chasing because I'm on my own thing. You know what I'm saying? But that's what a lot of them cats on YouTube be doing and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. You know what I mean? That shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like Uncle Murder said, that shit crazy, you know? In defending its position on the deportations, the Dominican Republic says there is no evidence of any systemic human rights violations as suggested in the U.S. Embassy's bulletin. Okay, so if there's no systemic evidence of human rights violations, then what criteria are they using? See, anytime they give a rebuttal like this and say, well, there's no evidence, and they just say, well, that didn't happen. Okay, well, what is the evidence that that's not happening? Where is your criteria that you use to detain people? They don't have any that they gave. which means that they are legitimately just targeting people based on skin color. You know what I'm saying? Which, as we all know, of the Dominican Republic and people from the DR, their anti-black history, that's what they do when they come here as immigrants. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says its Ministry of Foreign Relations said in a statement, the Dominican government never could have imagined that there would be such a harsh insinuation made about our country, much less from an ally that has been subject to accusations of xenophobic and racist treatments of migrants, including parts of its own populations, including its own population. But see, I want you guys to understand, this is how white people and white adjacent people of color, like those anti-black Dominicans, weaponize quote unquote racism. It's the same thing that China does. Asians are some of the most anti-black racist people on the planet inherently. But then when they get called out for it, the first thing that they'll do is point out America's racism. And what it is we all play this game of, well, we're all not that bad. It's never a game of we treat these people right. It's a game of we're not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Faith and Lighten. She says, this is BS because I know what they do, but I literally had to search for the live stream right now instead of it being on my timeline. I was talking too silly last night. That's hilarious. That's because you was lit. So now here it says tensions between Haiti and the Dominican Republic, which share a 240-mile border on the island of Hispaniola, have worsened since 2021. Deportations from the Dominican Republic have since escalated, and the country's government has increasingly militarized its border, even beginning the construction of a border wall. So look at that. They want to keep black people out of their country so bad. They even took a page from the Grand Dragon book himself, Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nikki. What up with it, Nikki? So now here it says President Louis Abiner last week called by the comments that the UN human rights chief said were unacceptable and irresponsible. He said his country has been more affected by Haiti's problems and steady migration and more supportive than any other country in the world. You can't ask for anything more from the Dominican Republic. We're going to continue the deportations, and next week we're going to increase them, he said. So I want you guys to understand this, and you guys see this is the same pattern that goes on in the United States. When accused of anti-black racism, the first thing that we're going to say is that it doesn't matter what you said. We're going to give a fake apology, but then we're going to double down on what we're already doing. Shout out to my man DeAndre. What up with it, bro? So now here is the article from CNN. All right. And in this article from CNN is talking about the Dominican Republic deportations of all of these children without their families. So again, I find that fascinating. You know what I'm saying? Why is it that that's always an issue? Shout out to my man DJ Elmo. What up with it? Good to see you, bro. So now here it says exclusive. Dominican Republic expelled hundreds of children to Haiti without their family this year. All right. Now, this article came out November 22nd of 2022. So, you know, it's not brand new breaking news, but it's fairly recent. And I like how they decided to try to use the darkest skinned border agents that they could find. You know what I'm saying? To try to take away from the impact that this is all anti-blackness. You know what I'm saying? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have not smashed that like button, please make sure that you do that. Smash that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Also, check out my other social media. All right. And remember, once we get through the content, if there's anybody that wants to call in, we'll do the call in hour for about an hour. If it goes good, we might go longer. If it doesn't, you know what I'm saying, then we'll cut it short. All right. So now here it says hundreds of children have been expelled from the Dominican Republic this year without parents. Now, here's my question for everybody. How many of you guys heard about this issue in the Dominican Republic with Haitian migrants? If you guys heard about this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys have not heard about this, give me a thumbs down. My question for everybody is, if you have not heard about it, why is it that you don't think that they're talking about this in the mainstream media? That's my question. And that was a a good observation that that JD informant made. I'm gonna put this back up on the screen because it's a great point. He says one thing that I did notice is that the online gang that usually attack people like Tariq aren't saying anything about the Haitians being attacked by the DR. Here's my question. What do you think that gang of people is so occupied doing that they're not covering diaspora news? That's my question, because clearly something has come up that's more important than the diaspora that we're all a part of, that we're all in together as brothers, and we all need to take care of each other and just, shove reparations under the rug and FBA is a hate group and this, that, and the other. But something must be so important that they don't have time to talk about this. So my question is, why is the anti-immigrant, toxic, xenophobic, feral black American over here talking about it? That's my question. Shout out to my man AB Promotion. AB says it's really easy to dehumanize real humans. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man D-Buck. D-Buck says, I don't watch mainstream media because it all has hidden agendas. I come to you for my important news. I appreciate it, bro. And that's a fact. The mainstream media is nothing but agendas. Matter of fact, I might actually do another stream immediately right after this one, talking about those agendas, and then we can do the call in on that stream, because that's going to bring in some of this stuff as well. But this is all Democrat stuff. Shout out to my man Steal My Beats. What up with it, bro? Good to see you. So now here it says, according to UNICEF, amid a sweeping government push to remove suspected undocumented migrants from the country, the United Nations Children Agency had received at least 1,800 unaccompanied children delivered by Dominican immigration authorities into Haiti since the year began, a spokesman told CNN on Monday. Many arrive without identity documents and are shipped into the country amid adult deportees. And the spokesperson also said, raising the question of how Dominican authorities ascertained that they belonged in Haiti at all. So again, they're the people that they're deporting. It's not even making sense why they're getting deported. So that's why these questions are being asked. That's why these things are being brought up. And the Dominican government doesn't have anything to say about it. You know what I'm saying? They don't have anything to say about it. So as you can see, these are all black people here, all black children that have been separated from their families by the Dominican government and shipped back to Haiti. But, when they show black children on TV and they show black children as starving, they show black children as always being in some kind of poverty. They show black children as always being adopted and buck broken by these celebrities. You know what I'm saying? It goes hand in hand with the agenda of black trauma and desensitizing the public to the issue of black life. They're not doing that as a favor. You know what I'm saying? They're actually doing that to be harmful. They're doing that as toxic behavior. They're doing that to be as toxic as possible. They're doing that to make there be a normal standard of harming black children or seeing black people being harmed. That is the culture here in the United States, and it's the United States mission to make that a global normalized trait in order to contain and keep black people under control, whether it's through financial means, whether through its nominal means of population numbers, whether it's through borders, whether it's through military action, whether it's through jails, whatever it is. That's part of the propaganda. That's part of the mission. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, back in the Dominican Republic, which shares the island of Hispaniola with Haiti, immigration detention centers sometimes hold parents without their children. Now, here's my question. If you're simply removing people, right, and the only criminal offense that those people have done is to be in the country illegally, how does splitting up their family benefit you at all? If you don't plan to abuse those children, if you don't plan to harm those children, why would you split up the family? Does that make any sense? So this is just something extra that the Dominican Republic is doing just to be extra abusive. If you guys agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. So now here it says one woman had a diaper bag with her, but not the baby. And immigration agents had told her that she couldn't carry her baby with her and that they would bring it to the bus. But then they didn't bring the baby to the bus, said Joanna Kuzmava, a researcher at the Dominican Migration Policy Think Tank Center for Migratory Observation and Social Development in the Caribbean. So as you can see here, I just want to make this clear. The news, again, goes to a think tank to cite information. Again, this is one of the reasons why we have to start up our own think tanks. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to my man Cameron Jones. What up with it, bro? Good to see you as always, family. And ladies and gentlemen, as of right now, let's check these stats. Let's check these stats. All right. What we got is we got 6 likes and we got 11 people watching. If everybody could take a moment and bang on that like button, that would definitely help. All right. The Dominican Republic has long sought to reduce the Haitian population within its borders, but the latest wave of deportations this year is taking place with stunning speed and breadth, prompting critics to accuse the Caribbean nation's government of racial profiling, chaotic execution, and disregard for human rights and families as immigration agents hustle people out of the country. Now, let me ask you guys a question. When it comes to most countries, right? When it comes to most third world countries, when they show the people who are being abused, why is it always the same picture? That's a question I have for you guys in the comment section that I need you guys to answer for me. Shout out to my man DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo says Haiti's offense was to beat the Europeans to gain their freedom and has been marked for punishment ever since. Facts. If you guys agree with DJ Elmo, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with DJ Elmo, give me a thumbs down. Faye says, after doing the show last night, I'm going back to work in a few hours, y'all. I'm beat. I'm crashing and we'll catch all y'all BLM fam bam later. All right, good to see you, Faith. Get you some rest. So now here it says the United States Embassy in the Dominican Republic has warned look at this. The United States Embassy in the Dominican Republic has warned black and darker skinned Americans that they risk increased interaction with Dominican authorities amid the immigration crackdown. In a statement released Saturday, the embassy described reports of unequal treatment of U.S. citizens based on skin color. What is the United States going to do to protect the people in the Dominican Republic from the Dominican Republic's government's terroristic regime against black people? That's clearly spelled out here. They're going to do the same thing that they do here, which is nothing. Hey, just so you know, these folks are picking on you and you could lose your rights and you could end up being detained over there for the rest of your life. Good luck. So what this tells you is that a U.S. citizenship means something for other people that it doesn't mean for you. The United States government is telling you that your citizenship doesn't come with the same benefits that the citizenship of other people comes with. Now that you know that, which I'm sure most of you already have known that, how do we deal with that? How do we deal with the people here in the United States? And how do we deal with these people abroad? Because they need to be dealt with. There needs to be more sob stories about what happened to these people crossing us than there needs to be about sob stories about, oh, please don't do this to us no more. Please don't do this to us no more. Dominican authorities violated foundational Black American. That authority's head was found 30 miles from his body. Now, of course, when I say his head was found 30 miles from his body, I could be talking about a selfie, right? Because if you guys read the thing scrolling at the bottom, one thing that we don't do here is encourage violence. But it sounds good for a movie script, right? If you guys agree with AB Promotions, give me a thumbs up. AB Promotions says that the United States government endorses anti-black global behavior. Cameron says, we're not citizens. We're like refugees with no country. I tell my girl the only time they call black people Americans is during the Olympics. Facts. If you guys agree with Cameron, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with Cameron, give me a thumbs down. So now here it says, but Dominican Republic President Louis Abner has rejected calls to stop the deportations, arguing that the country already supports neighboring Haiti more than any country in the world. Now, here's my question. If it's only a Dominican and Haitian thing, why are Dominicans racist when they come to the United States against non-Haitian black people? That's my question for everybody. How many people in here have encountered Dominicans? Was it a pleasant encounter or was it a negative encounter? Most times when people encounter these other groups are really embarrassing with their cultures. They don't have any people skills whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? And calling that out is not xenophobia. What the actual xenophobia is those cultures having baked in anti-blackness. Making fun of a culture for being anti-black animals, that's not xenophobia. That's cultural critique. Because no culture should have it ingrained to hate or treat other cultures badly. So if you do that, then you're acting like less than a human, and we'll address you as that unapologetically. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Cameron Jones. Cameron says, when you go there, the darker skinned Dominicans were all doing the servant jobs. It's the caste system. You know what I'm saying? It's the caste system, bro. But what's so funny is that those Dominicans are so brainwashed, they think they're part of the club. So when they get around other people who are just as dark as they are, they try to overemphasize their Spanish culture to distance themselves from their dark skin. It's a really nauseating phenomenon to watch. It's really embarrassing behavior. I don't know if these people know how badly they look because they're hypnotized by the hologram of white supremacy, but they look really bad. They even look bad to the people that they try to appease to. The fact is that if those people have other people practicing their ideology, it makes life a lot easier for them. But make no mistake, those people are laughing at them when they're not around. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, how can you program somebody basically to hate themselves and then they try to kiss up to you by showing you how much they hate themselves? I mean, that's just the most embarrassing clipped behavior that anybody could have. And that's not xenophobic to talk about people like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And see, Cameron is saying it. The dark ones think they're white until they get that wake up call. None of that babbling works once they get that wake up call. So now here it says the Dominican Republic's migration doctorate, or I'm sorry, directorate did not respond to CNN's request for comment. But in a statement released after the publication of this article, the migration agency denied any cases of minors being separated from their parents since 2020. It quoted Vinicio Alcantara, the migrations agency's director general, describing specific procedures for dealing with minors. Alcantara, that's an interesting last name. Wasn't that girl's last name that Kevin Samuels was last seen with? Alcantara. Every time minors are accompanied by their parents, and when the parents have not been located, minors are referred to Children and Teenagers National Council, which will take care of them, he said. Now, if that's the case, then why is it that they were turned up at that other group that the think tank found them at? Nigga, I know black. You know what I'm saying? Clowns, clown culture, man. Allegations of degrading treatment and mistaken identities. In October alone, 14,801 people were sent to Haiti from the Dominican Republic, according to records by Haitian aid organization Groupe d'Appui des Repatriates et Refugees, an average of 477 people per day. Now, I want to ask you guys in the comment section, I want to pick you guys' brains. Why is it that all of these countries are deporting their Haitian immigrants back to Haiti, but they're making special treatments and amenities for their Latino immigrants? And then you have white people beating the drum of quote unquote immigration as if all immigrants are treated the same. White people beat the drum of all immigrants when it's not no all immigrants, because clearly what you see here, these are clearly human rights violations, right? But when Haitians came to the United States, what happened? They sent them right back to Haiti, didn't they? Right, right, Nikki. As soon as they get treated like they black, then they get on that babbling. My abuela was black. Yeah, your abuela was black. Remember, you know black, so stay no black. You know what I'm saying? So now here says social media videos appearing to show Dominican immigration authorities conducting raids have caused panic among Haitians and people of Haitian origin in the Dominican Republic, with even some who are legal residents telling CNN they are afraid to leave their homes. Now, if you have someone afraid to leave their home, you have them what? What do you have them? That's a question for you guys in the comment section. If you have somebody restricted to the confines of their home, what do you have them? You have them contained. Remember how the United States had black people contained because they had things like the KKK Night Riders and white mobs and the police patrolling the streets at night, tar and feathering people, lynching them, fugitive slave catchers, native indigenous people. Native indigenous people taking the side of white people, hunting black people down, going above and beyond the Mason-Dixon line, hunting people down from the north and bringing them back to plantations, illegally increasing their slave numbers. Facts. You have them imprisoned, PD Chicago, contained. All of these fear tactics are containment, black containment. And black containment only affects black people. And all groups of people, all non-black groups of people, including black groups of people that come over from other countries sometimes, like people from the Dominican Republic and Haiti, practice black containment on foundational black Americans once they get here and become colorblind when they look in a mirror, because that's just easier to get some butter biscuits for them, because they're shameful when they don't have any integrity, because that's part of the culture as well. That's how we ended up here. So now here it says Haiti's communication ministry called on its neighbor to respect human dignity on Sunday, citing the stunning images that have drawn attention to inhumane and degrading treatment inflicted on Haitian citizens in the Dominican Republic. Now, what I find fascinating is if the United States cares so much about quote unquote black people, if they care so much about quote unquote people of color, why isn't it that they're not telling black people here in the United States about that? Don't you think this is something that they should be telling us about? In case you happen to, be planning on going to the Dominican Republic, you know what I'm saying? But the mainstream media, the liberal media and the conservative media, man, they got a lot better stuff to talk about, like Kanye and Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is something that black people might be interested in, right? If you go somewhere else, you'll get in trouble for being black. Or maybe they just figure that they've done it so much here that we're just used to it and we need to be expected to know our quote unquote place, which means our place is that we can be subject to anybody's abuse at any time and it's just okay. You know what I'm saying? Glad you back, bro. Everybody drop some radiation emoji for Cameron Jones. Only a member of the Black Light Revelations crew could go to Dominican Republic and make it back safely. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You guys remember that? They said that it was us who was spreading C-19. Contained. Facts. It's only us that commits crimes. Contained. You know what I'm saying? Sammy Sosa went and got a whole skin graft. Sammy Sosa went and got himself a skin graft like he was a burn victim. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the immigration dragnet has swept up some people regardless of their nationality or legal status, according to former detainees and experts interviewed by CNN, as well as the U.S. Embassy statement. One Haitian man who lives and works legally in the Dominican Republic told CNN that immigration agents broke into his home in the middle of the night and refused to listen to his arguments. Damn, that sounds like the police here in the United States. If those Dominicans ever leave the Dominican Republic, man, they got a job at the police department at anywhere in the United States. Facts, AB. My man AB says they're not telling us so that we can go through subjugation. I agree. Cameron says he looks ridiculous. Facts. Super facts. Man, he looks like a thumb after you soaked it in the bathtub for too long. You know what I'm saying? And he paid for that. He should be on an episode of Botched. You know what I'm saying? I was sleeping in my house with my family at 3 a.m. A group of immigration officers broke down my door and arrested me. Who the fuck is this? Paging me at 3 a.m. in the morning, crack of dawn, and now I'm yawning. Wipe the coal out my eye. See who this is paging me and why. It's immigration about my paperwork. Oh, man. They just grabbed me and took me away. It's trying to stick me for my papers. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Christopher Wallace. I told them I had papers. They ain't even want to listen, he added. He was detained overnight in squalid conditions before being released the next day. So they just basically snatched his ass up and put him in the saw kill room and let him sit there for a little bit and marinate in germs and said, go ahead, you can go now. You probably been caught every disease that's on the island here. Go ahead. Bye. You got health care because you're not Haitian. Like, seriously? The video that he secretly filmed and shared with CNN showed a concrete building with cramped stalls piled with food and blackened with waste, and a narrow room with no beds where at least 15 other detained men waited. They're treated like animals. Once they put them in jail, they leave them to sleep on the floor without feeding them. They destroyed people's documents, and in some cases, people had no chance to show their papers, said Sam Gularmi, a GARR spokesperson. So now they caught this on video. And now my question is, where's the investigation into it? My man DJ almost says, given the hardcore racism of Dominicana and to see the passport bros going to Dominica to pick up a woman is insane. Yeah, I agree. I agree. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit. If you're gonna do that, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all already know, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do that, man, do the mail order shit where they come to the United States. Do that mail order shit, man. Don't go over there. You know what I'm saying? You go over there to the DR looking for a woman, and you mess around and become somebody's bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's what they saying here. He added that his organization has received several Dominican citizens in Haiti who were erroneously seized and deported. So this has been a years-long effort. The Dominican Republic's effort to remove people of Haitian origin from the country goes back years. So now what they're saying is that there's been an ongoing effort, not just for deporting of illegal people, but to remove people of Haitian origin. So what this sounds like to me is ethnic dislocation. And I mean, the United States has been practicing that with black people for centuries. So, of course, again, this being part of American culture, they're not going to see anything wrong with it. What would a good God-fearing American see wrong with this? You know what I'm saying? We have to put ourselves in the shoes of idiots. You know what I'm saying? Which are probably size 8s. So let's stuff ourselves into the size 8s of the average idiot in America and ask the question, would the average American have an issue with this? No, of course not. They're emotionally defunct, privileged, and stupid. And they think that this is how people are supposed to be treated. As a matter of fact, uh, all of these Dominican border agents could probably come here and get prominent positions in the GOP. All they got to do is just show the resume. Well, what did you do your entire time in the Dominican Republic? Just screenshot this picture right here and say, well, I didn't feed these people for 3 days while we illegally had them detained. Well, hell, shit, we'll have you as the senator of Florida in no time. You know what I'm saying? We'll have you as the senator of Florida in no time. DJ Elmo says, do you remember that infamous picture of the U.S. border agents on horses whipping the Haitian people? Absolutely. We're gonna bring that back up because see, the United States did that so that what they can do is then when this happened, they can turn around and say, well, we didn't treat them as bad as they were being treated in the Dominican Republic. Because when it comes to the United States and white people, it's never we didn't do something. It's, well, you should be happy with us because what we did to you wasn't as bad as these other people. Notice how it's never the transatlantic slave trade was wrong. It's, well, what about the Muslims? Well, what about them? They were Caucasian too. What are you talking about? Your cousins. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says in 2013, the country's constitutional court controversially ruled that Dominicans born in the country to undocumented parents should be stripped of their citizenship, rendering tens of thousands of people stateless with no other country to call home. Known colloquially as La Sentencia or the sentence, it created a situation of statelessness of a magnitude never seen before in the Americas, according to the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, which this is bullshit because the Emancipation Proclamation actually created a situation of statelessness that still is a problem today. We still don't have a legitimate ethnicity here in the United States as a result of the transatlantic slave trade. We still have America calling us Africans. They did it in this article. Super facts. And as you will see later on in the article, that's exactly what they said. Dominican Republic talking to the United States. I learned it by watching you. If you guys agree with AB Promotions, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Like dare to keep a kid off drugs. Hey, man. Hey, have you abused a black person lately? Why not? Everybody's doing it. And then the dare police pull up and you think you about to, you know what I'm saying, get some relief from the abuse. And then the police push the kids out the way and start whooping your ass. Because that's what the police do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know about that, Jay. They put that picture of the mounted uh of the mounted immigration officer whipping a Haitian on a coin in Florida. Yeah, that's I've heard about that. Cameron says there's a bunch of black American women over there in comas after getting BBL surgery. Psh, man, that's crazy, man. You better get you some protein shakes and hit that Smith machine at the gym and do some squats, man. Fuck that BBL shit. That should have had you all disproportionate anyway. You'll be looking like a sideways number 8. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says many Haitian migrants in the Dominican Republic rely on short-term residency permits to remain in the country legally through a regularization plan. But Kuzmava, the legal researcher, says she hears over and over that they risk being deported while they wait for those while they wait to renew those permits. Sounds like the immigration process here in the United States, because similar things like that actually happen here in the United States. You know what I'm saying? During people getting their green cards and people getting naturalized, they get called into deportation hearings all the time. Like, that is literal commonplace practice here in this unorganized ass system that we have here. They're deporting people that are actually trying to get their papers the legal way, while making it legal for the illegal people to vote. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do here in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 10 likes and 17 people watching. If you guys haven't smashed that like button, help your boy out. Smash that like button. Also, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And also, shout out to my man Torian Rain. If you ain't subscribed to his channel, make sure you subscribe to his channel. So now here it says, when it comes to Haitian migrants, the residence permit is valid for a year, and then they take a year to renew it. So the reality is that if this person who is eligible for a permit gets picked up on the street, they're not going to have a valid document on them, she says. What people are saying is that when you get picked up with an expired card, they destroy it. And that was basically the proof that you had of being in the regularization plan. You know, kind of like what they do with black people when you have expired license plates, and when they pick you up, they kill you. And then there's that. And then, like, all white people do is just make fun of it all day on social media, talking about you got in trouble for stealing a pack of gum when you were 2 year old, so you deserve to die. You know, that kind of shit. So now here it says, a new presidential decree issued last week to create a specialized law enforcement unit to combat squatting could also be used to target people of Haitian origin living on historic sugar plantation villages known as bayettes, which once drew large numbers of migrant workers. The people living there now, largely retired old people who worked on the plantations, and they don't have proof or title. So that could be another way to instrumentalize police to enforce deportations, Kuzmava says. As Haiti struggles to recover from interlinked political and security crisis, the UN has repeatedly called on the Dominican Republic to stop sending people there. So what they're doing is, Haiti is already dealing with some issues. Dominican Republic is flooding them with Haitians who probably have lived in the Dominican Republic so long, they're probably not going to have an easy time integrating back into Haitian culture, to continue to try to destabilize the population. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing that the United States is doing by, quote unquote, we're going to act like we're doing something good for everybody by creating these sanctuary cities, which what they're actually doing is flooding the hood with a bunch of people that have anti-black sentiments that shouldn't really be in the damn hood. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, unremitted arms violence and systemic human rights violations in Haiti do not currently allow for safe, dignified, and sustainable returns of Haitians to the country. I reiterate my call to all countries in the region, including the Dominican Republic, to halt deportations of Haitians. So now here's my question, right? They were talking about Russian UN violations over in Ukraine, and you see what the United States did for Ukraine. What I find fascinating is that what the United States did for Haiti was send more Haitians back to Haiti. They didn't send them any military aid. They sent them a whole bunch of extra Haitians. Here you go. Oh, you got a bus full of weapons and guns and missiles for us to fight these people? Nah. But we got a whole bus full of Haitian kids here. Now that's crazy. And that's a fact, Cameron. Cameron says when you have no documentation, you don't exist. That could get really ugly. Facts. Especially when you're in a country that already does not care about your human rights, and when you're in a country that has a long-standing historical beef with you. You know what I'm saying? 2 days earlier, Dominican Republic President Louis Abner responded with desertion, describing Turk's statement as unacceptable and irresponsible, and saying he would instead accelerate deportations. So again, as you can see, when faced with an accusation of anti-black racism, they all respond the same way. What we're going to do is we're going to act like it's not anti-black racism, and then we're going to double down on it. That's what we're going to do. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at that article that came out way back in the day about what happened here in the United States with Haitian migrants. You guys remember that? Yeah, that's facts. We sent mercenaries in a few years ago with weapons to perform a destabilizing operation, but the Haitians caught them and arrested them. Facts. They treated us like animals. Man, they got a page. So it looks like the Dominican Republic got a page right out of the United States own handbook. They treated us like animals. Haitians angry and in despair at being deported from the U.S. Haitian deportees arriving from Texas say they were rounded up like cattle and shackled like criminals. What I find fascinating is that the media still talks about this as if it's questionable. Now we have the same thing going on right there in the Dominican Republic with Haitian people. So the United States, let's not get it twisted here. The United States set the precedent of how to treat Haitian immigrants, and the Dominican Republic is simply following suit. So if you ask me, the United States is just as responsible as the Dominican Republic is for this entire situation. And all of the people who, sit there and clout chase on YouTube all day, if they actually care about the diaspora the way they claim to, I'm trying to figure out where their content about this is. You know what I'm saying? Leave it up to a toxic feral black American Akata, you know what I'm saying, to bust this out. When Evans Delva waded across the Rio Grande with his wife and 2 daughters, he had dreams of starting a new life in Florida. But less than a week later, he and his family stepped onto the tarmac in Port-au-Prince, the sweltering, chaotic capital of Haiti, with nothing except traumatic memories and feeling of bubbling anger. Now, here's my question. Why is the United States deporting Haitians while accepting Latino immigrants? Look, AB Promotion said Dominican just mad they women like chocolate. Dominicans is mad that they skin is chocolate. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if they women like chocolate all like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times women of other races are extremely anti-black male. And then they try to cover it up and say that their grandmother was 1/10 black or some corny ass shit like that. Because let's keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Like when woman splain is corny as hell to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like women can't come up with good comical excuses. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just gonna sound corny and feminine anyway. You know what I'm saying? But they'll say some cornball ass shit like, well, my grandmother was like 3/5 black, so that makes me black. So I'm okay to be racist as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just sit there looking like, bitch, while you sitting here saying all this dumbass shit, you could have took like 5 or 6 pictures for OnlyFans and got your ass some money. So you could have got a carrot to deep throat instead of sitting here talking to me with your dumb ass. You know what I'm saying? So now here says Delva, along with nearly 2,000 other Haitians, was deported from southern Texas this week to Haiti, despite having lived in Chile for the past 6 years and having a few remaining connections to his home country. His younger daughter, who is 4, does not hold Haitian citizenship, but having been born in Chile, and she speaks more Spanish than Haitian Creole. So this is what I was talking about a lot of these people that they just sending back. They've been other places. That would be like them rounding us up and sending us God knows where. You know what I'm saying? AB Promotion says Latinos get a pass because of phenotypes. See, to me, I don't think that Latinos should get a pass because of phenotypes. You know what I'm saying? when it comes to that phenotype shit, that's like that stereotype of like all mixed kids are cute. And like I hate to say it, but like all light-skinned motherfuckers are not attractive. You know what I'm saying? And all mixed kids are not cute. You know what I'm saying? And this is coming from me. You know what I'm saying? This coming from a light-skinned motherfucker myself. All light-skinned people ain't cute. You know what I'm saying? I'm an ugly ass light-skinned nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I'm proof that that shit ain't true. Like 50 said, I'm not a pretty nigga, but my mom think I'm handsome. Their phenotype is more African than anything else. But here's the problem though, right? The phenotype is cool for visual appeal, but what actually matters is what time are they on with their mentality. And most of their mentality is more bleached than a bottle of Clorox. So they're of no use. They ain't nothing but a carcass. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to get a carcass, instead of spending all that money on a trip to the Dominican Republic, if you just that hard up, you can go to a store and get your ass a mannequin. You know what I'm saying? Because a mannequin will probably have more personality than one of them bitches. You know what I'm saying? And it'll probably say more intelligent shit too. And if you could Bluetooth it or link it to Siri, you know what I'm saying? It might be able to help you find something if you lost some shit in the house. So now here it says, I don't know what we'll do. We don't have anywhere to stay or anyone to call, the 40-year-old said moments after getting off the plane in the blistering midday Caribbean heat. All I know is that this is the last place I want to be. It's not hard to understand why. So now here you go. You got the Guardian trashing Haiti, which I find fascinating. Now, here's some interesting things that they say about Haiti. They say that Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, and it's mirrored in overlapping crises. Gasoline shortages, blackouts are a daily reality, while warring gangs routinely kidnap for ransom and wage battle on the streets. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Why is Haiti in that condition? Amy Promotion said, Rob, you crazy. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I've been living in the United States all my life. That's exactly what it's supposed to do, is turn black people crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know? Cameron says, if you see a Dominican with a nice butt, it didn't come from that Spanish sailor that had sex with that slave girl 500 years ago. Did it come from some of those doctors with those injections? Haiti is under a blockade. Yeah, I agree. Cameron says we overthrow the government every 10 years. And pay very close attention to how they're supposed to have these human rights organizations like the UN, and the UN just sits there and watches that happen. They don't do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? And there's a reason why they don't do anything about it. The UN is not the friend of the world. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely not the friend of black people. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the grim situation only worsened when President Jovenel Moise, his name is Moise, huh, was assassinated in his home on July 7th, triggering a political power struggle and further instability and street violence. So let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that the United States had anything to do with the murder of this president here? If you guys think that the United States had something to do with the murder of this president, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that the United States had anything to do with the murder of this president, give me a thumbs down. So now here it says on August 14th, a 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck the country's poor southern peninsula, killing more than 2,200 people and leaving tens of thousands homeless. Now, what I find fascinating is this is a natural disaster that happened. Ukraine got itself into a war with Russia, and pay very close attention to the United States outreach and love and, you know what I'm saying, acceptance of Nazism and anti-black racists from Ukraine. and pay very close attention to how, we're just not going to talk about these natural disasters that took place in Haiti. You guys remember when those tsunamis hit those Asian countries? Man, it was make sure to cut your arm off, cut your leg off, and send it over there because those people can't live without you. You don't even hear about no natural disaster that went on in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? The people, like, shout out to my man JD Informant. Like he said, the people that be talking shit about Tariq all day definitely ain't talking about it. They busy getting super chats talking shit about Tariq. They not doing the content that is only gonna have you with 12 people in the room. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get that money. They trying to run that OnlyFans hustle. I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Ride that algorithm. Ride that algorithm all the way to prosperity. You know what I'm saying? This is a capitalist society. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the Biden administration's decision to deport thousands of Haitians under such circumstances drew opposition around the world and prompted the U.S. envoy to Haiti to resign in protest. But now Joe Biden has a Haitian press secretary. Isn't that correct? So this right here shows within that culture, you know what I'm saying, the lack of loyalty and the lack of respect for, their own culture. You know what I'm saying? They have no respect for their own people. They'll sit there and watch an individual abuse people like them and then say, well, can I get a job from you? Because that's what Jean Pierre did. And I think that we have a similar problem with that, with coons. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of the rainbow, you know what I'm saying? Now, I want to know real quick, y'all. When I was gonna do the call-ins and open up the phone lines after this, right? But actually, I want to do that other stream as well because that other stream actually talks about some crazy stuff with that. So, should I finish this stream and then do the other stream and then open up the phone lines? Or should I open up the phone lines on this and then start another stream? Let me know what you guys think. Shout out to Shatera. What up with it? It's a coondemic. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Shit crazy. Haiti is a country where American officials are confirmed to secure compounds because of the danger posed by armed gangs in control of daily life, he wrote in his resignation letter. Surging migration to our borders will only grow as we add to Haiti's unacceptable misery. So what this person here who resigned, who was working for Biden's envoy, he's saying that the United States is contributing to the situation that's causing Haitian migration here. DJ Elmo says, have you heard of CARICOM? Haiti is a member of CARICOM, and CARICOM is ineffective in addressing what's happening with the Haitians. Oh, the other stream goes into some crazy LGBTQ stuff. The other stream finna be some crazy LGBTQ stuff. Last week, the world, now remember, this isn't last week because this is old, but the world was shocked by images of police officers on horseback charging at desperate Haitian migrants near a camp of 12,000 set up under the Del Rio Ciudad Anquia International Bridge. Delva was on his way to buy food and water for his family when the cavalry charge sent him and dozens of his compatriots running in a frenzy. We were rounded up like cattle and shackled like criminals, he said, having spent the 6-hour flight from San Antonio with his hands and legs tied. They treated us like animals, added Maria, his wife. We will never forget how that felt. I don't know, man. I think that black people tend to forget how being treated like animals feels all the time. Look at here in the United States, when you had members of the Arkansas Little Rock Nine sit there and co-sign Jerry Jones. You know what I'm saying? I think that if offered the right amount of money, those people would forget. They'd never mention it again. D-Buck says, I do the other stream first, and then people can call in about both. But I'm here for whichever you prefer. So you guys agree with D-Buck? If you guys agree with D-Buck, give me a thumbs up. If you disagree, give me a thumbs down. Yeah, they did that all for aesthetics, Cameron. I agree. They deliberately bought horses for that moment with government funds. Facts. Super facts. U.S. authorities were so slapdish in their rapid deportation of the migrants that they also swept up an Angolian man who had never set foot in Haiti. Man, it's funny how you don't hear about that. Did you guys hear about the Angolian man who got swept up in the Haitian deportations? They didn't say anything about that. Shout out to MF Doom. That's a super villain. We got 2 thumbs up. I told them I am not Haitian, said Bellon Mipibli as he emerged dazzled from the terminal, but they didn't listen. He probably said, me no black, and they still didn't listen. Like, bro, you dark. You know what I'm saying? You gone by. You know what I'm saying? He ain't say nothing about he not Haitian. He identified that they were deporting Haitians, and he probably thought it was something going on with black people. And he said, me no black, me no black. And they was like, man, get your ass on that plane. You know what I'm saying? Babbling and shit. Get your ass on that plane. These are real white people that's finna deport your ass. You sitting up here, you know what I'm saying, the same complexion as some damn leather gloves and shit. You finna tell me you ain't black? Get your ass on this plane. That's what they told him. Your ass looking like a turned off TV with eyes. Talking about you ain't black. Man, shut your ass up and put these damn handcuffs on. That's what they told him. And he was confused. You know what I'm saying? This is not supposed to happen to me. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? It did. Outside the airport, a few dozen deported Haitians were waiting, restless and angry for help. Look, they say it's screw biting. One deportee shouted as a fight broke out between 2 motorcycle taxi drivers jostling for clients, and plumes of white rancid smoke billowed from a nearby pile of burning rubbish. I mean, why was there garbage on fire? There's all kinds of shit happening. You know what I'm saying? Shit on fire, taxis fighting and shit. What the fuck was going on? You sure they wasn't in New York doing this shit? You sure they wasn't in East New York, Brooklyn? This shit happening? You know what I'm saying? New arrivals each received about $50 in cash, as well as a hygiene kit, including toilet paper, soap, and toothbrushes. And this is some anti-black shit right here, because they know they should have put some damn lotion in this shit with this. Emblazoned with the USA logo and slogan, a gift from the American people. Knowing they should have put some motherfucking Johnson & Johnson pink lotion in there. The United States ain't never gonna learn. You know what I'm saying? AB Promotion said it sounded like a war zone. Yeah, that shit sound crazy. That shit sound like Canal Street, bro. This is my country, and I'm not scared of it. But there's no future here, even if you want to work, said Fan Clearvex. Fan should have took his ass over to where that shit was burning at and fan that fire away. Who had been sleeping at a cousin's house nearby since he arrived days ago. But I don't know why they had to deport us like that. Take a wild guess. You know what I'm saying? Whatever reason you come up with is probably right. The vast majority of those deported had been living in Chile and Brazil for several years following an earthquake in 2010 that leveled much of Port-au-Prince, killing more than 200,000 people and setting Haiti on a spiral of instability from which it has never recovered. How do we know that these weather events that's going on in Haiti are not like targeted weapons from DARPA? Because how are all these weather events happening only hitting Haiti and not hitting the Dominican Republic? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's a fact. That's a fact, Cameron. U.S. aid is a proxy to overthrow governments. Super facts. You know what I'm saying? Those who reached South America set about making new lives. But when the coronavirus pandemic struck, it wiped out much of Latin America's middle and working class jobs. And they were once again left in poverty. So again, this is how you economically and financially sanction people. You know what I'm saying? If you're dependent on a paycheck, When the jobs evaporate for whatever reason they decide to use, you're now out of money, which is one of the reasons why you have to have a self-sustaining form of income. You know what I'm saying? Cameron said they got caught running weapons to Venezuela opposition disguised as humanitarian aid. Man, that's crazy. Brittany says Demetra K from the African Diaspora News Channel did a stream from the Dominican Republic on how she was walking with her daughter and the Dominican police tried to pick her up for deportation. See? Ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? You got me bent. Cameron said, my dad said it happens to Haiti because of voodoo. Shit. If Haiti got back to their voodoo roots, shit would probably start happening right for Haiti. You know what I'm saying? They trying to be like everybody else. They trying to be Catholic and Christian. Voodoo is the actual national religion of Haiti. You know what I'm saying? White people were scared of voodoo because it was some science that they didn't understand. You know what I'm saying? White people make TV shows about zombies. You know what I'm saying? That's because that's all they can do is come up with TV shows about it. Voodoo practitioners know how to mix chemicals and neurotoxins to actually create an animated zombie. You know what I'm saying? Why they try to sit there and talk shit. Many Haitians decided to head for the U.S. The long route north exposes them to bandits, traffickers, and immigration officials who prey on migrants. Perhaps the worst part of the journey is the dreaded Darien Gap, a lawless patch of mountains jungle between Colombia and Panama. The dead bodies there are just so many dead bodies, and the river just 8 people alive, said Delva, and the thieves just stealing from everyone. Man, that's crazy and shit. That shit remind me of that part on Star Wars where they was walking through the desert and shit, and those elephant people, ain't that what they was called? The elephant people will come through there with them on them big ass things with them tusks and beat the brakes off of Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi and had their asses tied up upside down on Padawan. Y'all remember that? They be like, oh, after dark, the elephant people come out. And them motherfuckers be like, remember that? Yeah, the Tuscan Raiders. That's what they called them. They had to change the name from Sand People because they said that shit was racist to you know what I'm saying, to the Arabs. Yeah, the Tuscan Raiders, that's it. And they had the sticks and the gas mask with the towel wrapped over it. They actually did look like they was finna blow some shit up. One of them motherfuckers walk in the elevator, get your ass off before the door closed. You know what I'm saying? So now here it said, look at this, and they said, and the thieves just stealing from everyone. That's just terrible. Sound like Jackson State University. After the last flight of the day arrived, one young woman fought through a crowd of taxi drivers and broke down in tears when she saw her mother, who was separated from her in Texas. You're here. Further back, a driver listened to radio news hearing about another kidnapping in the capital, while the Delva family began piling into a battered hatchback. Wow. I don't know if Biden knows what happened to us, but they treated us like private property, Delva said. Despite the traumas of their long journey, he was certain of one thing: his family's future was not in Haiti. We'll stay here for a month or so, and then we'll try to leave again. I don't know, man. I don't know if I would leave and try to come back to the United States. And I don't know why they think that Biden cares. I mean, do they not realize? Shout out to Z-Man. Thank you. Yeah, the Tuscan Raiders. Do they realize that it was Biden's employees who did this to them? Like, we got to start living in reality here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if Biden know what they did. Yeah, they knew it. Biden knew what they did, because after they did the shit, they had a report on his desk, because that's what you're supposed to do when you work for the government. After you carry out a mission, you provide the chief executive officer with a mission summary. So yeah, his ass knew what they did. He read the shit and signed it. I mean, I don't know if you know what goes on here in the United States, but you might want to pick up a history book, because you wouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? But when the world is correct, The world is correct. You know what I'm saying? My man DJ Elmo says a FBA man, Peter Sean Brown, was almost deported to Jamaica while in custody by ICE. Man, that's crazy, man. So they might actually, this is something that, you know what I'm saying, we need to pay attention to, in my opinion, because this is something that they might actually start trying to target us with here in the United States. You know what I'm saying? So we need to be able to be ready, have our legal resources together, have our self-defense resources together, have our financial resources together. You know what I'm saying? Because what goes on overseas always comes back to the United States. One example of that is C-19. I remember when it was just going on in China. I was like, man, this should be over here in the United States in a week. A week later, you know what I'm saying? Everything was on lockdown. You know what I'm saying? So, ladies and gentlemen, players and pimps, this stream right here is more evidence of why we are all not in it together as brothers. We are all not in it together as people of color. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have people of color doing the abusing, and those people that they're abusing coming here to the United States with anti-black xenophobia, Houston, we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hang tight. Don't move a muscle. You know what I'm saying? Your boy is about to queue up the next stream. All right. Make sure that you guys smash the like button, hit the bell icon twice. Make sure that you subscribe to the backup channels, and we will be back shortly. All right. Peace.